today, uh, the second and last day of the symposium. So again, welcome for our attendees, both in person and virtually. And thank you for coming back for some of you who came yesterday, and welcome to those who just joined us today. Okay, so I will introduce our chair, who is going to introduce the next speaker in this panel. Our chair is Dr. Professor Michiko Kanyasu, sorry, Professor Michiko Kanyasu. She is a Japanese linguistic professor at Asian Language and Culture. Please, the stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Juliana. Good morning, everyone. So it is my pleasure to introduce our first speakers, Dr. Masahiro Yamada and Dr. Akiko Yokoyama. Dr. Yamada is the Associate Professor at National Institute for Japanese Language and Linguistics. He received his PhD in linguistics from the University of Delaware in 2010. Professor Yamada is the principal investigator of one of the Institute's 7 collaborative projects, and the project he leads is titled Research on Conservation of Endangered Languages. Dr. Akiko Yokoyama is an assistant professor at the National Institute for Japanese Language and Linguistics. She received her PhD in social science from Hitotsubashi University in Japan. Professor Yokoyama has been involved in language description, documentation, and revitalization work for the Okinoerbabu language of the Northern Ryukyus. The title of their talk today is Community-Based Language Revitalization, a case of Okinoerbabu. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Yamada and Dr. Yokoyama.
Hi. Welcome back to the second day. So this is an opening act for the second day. Oh, sorry. We're gonna play 2 songs. The first one, the second one has a call and response part. So we need to practice, right? Do I have the slide here?
Yeah.
Right, so this is the first one. So both songs are about the rice harvesting. The part you're supposed to sing is the red part. The red part. So I will sing. You repeat. Oh yeah. Yeah, you have like 4 chances to better in the end. So, but before this one, we also have harvest song. This one. So this one, no call and response part, but pay attention to the red part. So the rich harvest, that's happy, and the pillow, and she's gone down like pillow. Pillow, the south pillow, she's gone down like this, and harvest rice, and embrace the rice, the festival, and go home. Good, yeah? Okay, shall we? Oh, good. There you go. Hi. response. Where's your, is that PowerPoint?
Oh, now we present our presentation. So thank you very much for your warm welcome for our performance. And we are Masahiro Yamada and Akiko Yokoyama from National Institute of Japanese Language and Linguistics. And we will talk about community-based language revitalization in the case of Okinoerbabu language in Ryukyuan. And in your presentation, firstly, we will provide a brief introduction about Okinawa language, which is called as Shimamuni in the community. And then we will talk about the obstacle which we met when we started our study. And then we will introduce about the collaboration activities with communities. The first one is Shimamuni Salon, which aims to reach people to document language by themselves. And the second one is Shimamori project, which aims to raise people to revitalize language with their motivation in the future. And we will talk about prospect and finish with a summary. Firstly, this is a brief introduction about Okinawa language, Shimamori, in this presentation. And this is a map of Japan, and there are China, Korea, and there are some islands in the southwest of Japan. Within these islands are called as Ryukyu Islands, and within these islands, the Okinawa Island, which we are talking about, is located northern part of Ryukyuan. And the island population is about 12,000. And as we will talk later, the fluent speakers can be estimated around 5,000. And all of the languages in the Ryukyuan are listed as endangered languages in UNESCO's map, and especially the Okinawa language, or Shimamuni, what is identified as Kunigami language in this map. And these Ryukyuan languages are actually cognate language with Japanese, and they are separated before 8th century. And when the standard Japanese speaker hears the Ryukyuan, it sounds very different, but actually they are sister language, so basic phonological structure and syntax is very similar to Japanese. And especially in the case of Shimamuni, they have several phonemes which are not in Japanese, like glottal stop or e or wu sounds, which means semi-vowels. But still, almost all of the phonemes are shared with Japanese. But the morphological or lexical difference are very big, enough to lose mutual intelligibility. And actually, we conducted the language experiment to investigate the degree of mutual intelligibility between Shimamuni with Japanese. And this project was conducted together with Professor Takubo, Professor Iwasaki, and also it is originally inspired by the Professor Obredi and Professor Yang work. And the figure left circled with yellow shows how Shimamuni speaker can understand Shimamuni. So since they are native speaker, they scored very high, of course. And this right figure shows, circled with yellow, shows how standard Japanese monolingual speakers can understand Shimamuni. And we can see that they can only understand about 5% of Shimamuni. So we can say it is clearly that they have no mutual intelligibility. And let's talk about the speakers. As I said, this is it's a clock, but this is the result of Shimamuni ability, speaking ability of Shimamuni. I asked 300 people, 300 islanders who has grown up in the island, and over the half of the people in their 60s or over think they can speak Shimamuni fluently or to some extent. So it is roughly said the speakers of Shimamuni is in their 60s or older. But there are some positive news. The first one is even under 60s, there are substantial passive speakers. In this slide is also cut, but this is like it depends, and there are here people over 60 they can understand almost 100%, but after even under 60s, it's around 40 to 60s, they can understand now we can see that. I'm sorry. So we can see now that even in Portuguese, they can understand Shimamori almost same as the native speakers. So we have a lot of, and it means they can things of Shimamori, and we call them as potential speakers of Shimamori. And another good news is their language attitude. And this is a result of survey which ask, do you want to inherit Shimamoni to 100 people in the island? And 89% of respondents hope the inheritance of Shimamoni. So it is true that the Shimamoni is an endangered language, but because the speakers and also very positive language, we believe that it is not impossible to revitalize language in this island. But please let me start with the obstacle which we met in the first place. Okay. When we started our study for 14 years ago, language was not well studied. It was very limited, like phonetic inventory or case marker or some verbal conjugation. It was not enough to use for revitalization. So we need to start our project from descriptive linguistics. And also we didn't have any idea how much language decline is progress. So, and also we didn't know how people think about their language. So we did intergenerational transmission experiment and also language attitude survey as we saw in the presentation. And we now get the whole picture of the syntax, and also we know the part of ecology of the language. And another thing is there was no materials for learning. So we have created 5 picture books with community and a textbook based on grammar description. So, for example, the math on the original story is the Shimamori written by community members. And also Tanaka Matsumura 2022 is based on folktale in the island, and it was funded by crowdfunding. And Yokoyama 2022 is a textbook based on grammar description, so it covers all aspects of the grammar, and it also has video tutorial. But the most important thing we found for sustainable revitalization was local initiative, which means we need people in the community to do documentation and revitalization by themselves. And actually, there were people who want to do that, but it seems some of them are isolated and some of them didn't know how to do it. So we started Shimamoni Salon for documentation and Shimamoni project for revitalization. So let's start from the Shimamoni Salon. This is basically community center course. It started from 2019, once a month via Zoom or on site. In this salon, we share the methodology to describe and document their language by themselves. And this is the procedure of the documentation. We firstly share methods of interview and illustration and using a recorder and writing system. And then they try to elicit basic vocabularies each other. And the picture above shows how they write their language by themselves. And we collect data and convert these raw data to database format like this Excel format and publish it online dictionary. And this is the online dictionary of endangered languages of Japan provided by NIJA. We publish basic vocabulary of 9 communities, which are collected in Shimamoni Salon in this database. The point is, in the island, there are 42 communities, and it has slightly different dialects. They have mutual intelligibility, but because the form of the words or the system of conjugation sometimes different. So we need them treat them separately. And because and it must take so long time if we collect data by only researchers, but because we have members from various communities, so it can make us easy to document the languages. Okay, and from this point, okay, but I want to say this is just output, but this is like hands-on learning. So our real purpose was not like that. It was local initiative documentation project, which means people started to document language by themselves in their community, and it has actually started. But from this point, I will pass to Masahiro. Thank you.
Okay, so that was the outcome, the output of the Yamada sound, right? We're not gonna sing. You will talk about that. So actually, out of the Shimamuni Salon, there are like 2 participants so far started making a dictionary of their own dialects. One from Tamina, village around here, and another one from Tamajiro, that's somewhere here. And by the way, she wrote a grammar on Kunigami dialect here. And there's another guy, Thais van der Lubbe, he wrote a grammar on dialect spoken here. So we have lots of other places unknown. So we're gonna talk about the case of Tamina people. So Tamina case. So one of the participants, Tsuruko-san, has formed a data collection team with her friends. So she taught the members that data collection teams how to do the elicitations, how to use the recordings, how to share the data with us. And she and her teams go to the native speakers and recorded all the sounds and send the raw data, the handwritten data, scanned it and send it to us. So we're gonna convert it to the database format. But they have already finished the basic vocabulary list that our project made. It's about 1,200 words. But then they discuss among themselves what's the next step. So everybody kind of agreed that, yeah, we need example sentences. These are just words. We need how to use them. So they again formed a dictionary committee with the native speakers, fluent speakers, elderlies. So, and they decided to have a regular sessions like every 2 weeks to review the example sentences, to create the new example sentences. And that the data collection team members, they are like relatively younger than the fluent speakers. So they play the facilitator role. So that's really nice. They are doing stuff by themselves. And there's another community who's doing the same thing. So we have published and update frequently the sounds, update frequently the data with the sounds in the online dictionary of Ninja Endangered Language Project. Like this, that's the work done by Kenan Select, assistant professor at Ninja. And we also raised the citizen scientists. So this is another topic, not the dictionary, but this is about the verb conjugations. So can you believe that these the verb conjugation tables? This is solely collected by like 70 years old grammars. Unbelievable, right? Nice. We don't need linguists anymore. So remember that we need manpower, especially for the discourse text, transcriptions, recordings, and also for the dictionaries. But we also need a reference grammar for many other dialects, but the reference grammar especially requires some linguistic trainings, knowledge, skills. The researchers will focus on the grammar part. On dictionary part, we're gonna provide some trainings like Shimamuni Salon so that everybody can do it by themselves. Nice. So let's move on to another project. So the Shimamuni project, it's about the 3-generation project. So prescript, the internal motivation is very important for sustainability. So these are the workshops that we have. We try to find what each person is internally motivated.
Mm.
So we don't say that, yeah, language is important, it's your identity. If you lose it, you will lose your identity. We don't say that. We just try to find what they find interesting, fun. This is something that they like. We add the language stuff to those things that they like, and then let them do it because they like it, because they want to do it. So the first picture there, that's the scene of my talk. I usually give talks in these little community centers, and they're all drinking and eating, right? And also there are music plays there, because that's what they like. If I advertise that, yeah, I'm gonna give a talk, please come over, nobody will come. Yeah, we're gonna have a party, we're gonna have a drink, we're gonna have a food, we're gonna have a sing and dance, and a linguist might give a talk. Drinking is something that they like, so they will come and put language stuff and send a message. Nice. That's how it works, working with the communities. So this is the 3 generation project part. It's so those workshops we try to find out what they are interested in. But this case, we ask them to show us what they find interesting, fun. So we worked with 2 school districts and 1 local government town. So these are the only instructions that we gave. So first, work with 3 generations: kids, parents, and grandfathers, grandmothers. And for the school one, as a summer school, summer project of the school, and create something, contents or activities that encourage the language use at home. Whatever things, but you need to come up with your idea that suits to your home. Okay. And share your work or activity with the other community members and also people outside of the island. So come over to Japan, explain what you are thinking. So we kind of imagine things like this. So the kid with his mother asked many things to their grandfather and records stuff there. That's something we expected. So we worked with next year Kunigami Preschool and then Wadamari Town. So every time we had about 5 families, 5 groups, 3 generation groups. So total 15 people or something. Actually more than that, 20 or 30. And then we had COVID-19, we stopped the project. Too bad. So output and some outcomes. So output, so there are many language materials and activities made by each family. So that's a good thing. And also especially the first year's people, they formed a group, the performance group, and they used the local languages as a part of their performance. That was actually rare back in that time. The local language, the kids speak themselves in their languages, or we made a song. Oh well, everybody liked it, like the performance, and other people in the island start doing the same things, like use the local language as a part of the performance. That was fun. And another output. So we had they had a presentation party at those community centers. So share their works, activities with the other members. But they had these meetings in the form that, we are going to Tokyo, we are going to Ninjo and give the presentations. Please come to see our practice. That's how they put it. So everybody come here to encourage the kids. And they did the presentation and of course dancing at Ninjo. And Yuki is here. Good. Okay. So we spread the idea and reached to people outside of those participating families to have more people involved in the projects. And also this is outcome, we didn't expect this, but some of the participants started the master apprentice on learning by themselves. We didn't know that for a long time, but they told us that, yeah, we can now speak because we did this. So she asked her mother and father to only use the local language to them, the couple. So they practiced for 3 months and then they're not fluent. Well, it's not fluent, but they can like keep conversations. And this is the movies that we took when they went to Purdue University. I was invited as a speaker there at the international symposium, and we asked them, "Do you want to come?" Yeah, they want to come, and they gave a talk in their local language. That's fun. And a few years later, the high school. So some of the kids entered the high schools, and they had the school project that's let the students decide their own themes or topics for the research project. And some students picked up the language stuff. And that was actually the participants like 5 years ago. And they gave a poster presentations at the Endangered Language Summit. And also they sent their presentation to the Kagoshima Prefecture, and they got the best reward for the high school project. It's good. So the prospects. So we both renewed our grant successfully. We got big ones. So we're gonna start the Master Apprentice program, because there are some new speakers, but not as many as we want or as we expect. So we're kind of done with spreading the idea that this is how you can revitalize or document your language by yourself. So now let's move on to the next step. Actually turning you guys activate your passive knowledge as a speaker. So we're gonna start the Master Apprentice program with supplementary materials and online support, and we also assess our projects. So the successful Master Apprentice program presumes 50 hours per month or 2 hours every day. So that's kind of impossible for the generations ours. We are full-time workers. Where am I gonna find 2 hours every day, right? So it's kind of impossible. So we're gonna have a short period of the sessions, but we supply those materials like Akiko's textbook, Akiko's the online material. We also have online group to discuss the stuff. And we also want to approach to the kids again. Let's see. Sheet time, thank you very much.
So we have a lot of time left for questions and comments, right? 17 minutes.
Yes.
Question?
Thank you so much, Crystal, with the of a community-based, community-engaged service learning. What you said is talking about very frequently these days. So I wonder, you have a very good funding source, right?
Yeah.
The participants will be supported. I mean, the kids who participate in this project.
For
How
the-
how do you invite that kind of speakers?
For the Master Apprentice program, yeah, we're gonna pay hourly. But for
Hourly.
the rest, we don't really pay because the money is not really involved in the
Exactly.
culture of Japan in general.
So students should be self-motivated,
Yeah.
right? So I think we can apply this to heritage language education in America, including Jeju dialect.
Yeah, we learn a lot from the things going on here.
Very interesting.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
So I have a question about the children who came into the three generation project. So when they came, could they speak the language? What was their fluency like? So they gained it
Zero.
already at 0. And how long? Maybe I didn't catch that, but how long was the project?
The project is about a year, but they normally start in summer.
And it's 0 at the start. So what was their fluency like at the end?
Oh, it didn't affect that much, except for the family of that couple. Yeah, we didn't do any assessment. We didn't run the.
But without assessment, do you feel like they gained
Yeah.
a little bit of language?
Yeah, their kids there are 3. I mean, you met them, right? Their kids, they understand the language almost completely now. But we cannot do the secret talks anymore.
My question also related to the Free Generation project. How many families participated in the project, and in each session, how long did you take?
So there are 5 families and sessions. We didn't really have any serious session except that we visit each family and hey, is there any problems or is there anything that I can help? Only a couple of times during the summer. Other than that, they will figure out what they're gonna do. And they ask for the help if they need. If they don't, then we will just get the final product.
Just one more question. It's very difficult to motivate the heritage speakers to learn about their heritage and language culture. But how did you motivate internal motivation?
We didn't motivate them.
You did.
No, I didn't like it, so I don't like do it.
I see.
They are motivated by themselves.
Mm.
So there are lots of other people who are not motivated and
Right.
who are not working with us. We believe it's the thing is healthy.
Jumping on that question, when you explored their internal motivations, what kinds of things were there? Like, why were people getting involved? Was it totally diverse?
Okay. The strongest motivation that we have found so far is the kids. The parents, they are passive speakers, and I was trying to find what they are motivated, and it's a kids thing. They will do many things if that's good for the kids. That's why we created those picture books. Kids will ask their parents, hey, read this, and they have to practice it. Reasonable. Other things like drinking and parties. Stoichi.
I thought there's somebody
Okay.
else.
Yeah, I would ask do the kids encourage? Are they encouraged to mix the local language with standard Japanese language?
They are not encouraged, but they are not banned either. So they will do whatever they want. But currently, I think they have to mix. They use some vocabularies while they are speaking in Japanese.
We have a question from a virtual attendee. So they asked, did you encounter any issues with garnering interest from young adult learners?
Garnering interest.
Garnering, like gaining interest from young adult learners.
Gaining interest.
So generating interest.
Oh, that's the same as
Specific.
so.
It may have been already answered.
Right, we
Yeah.
didn't really
Right.
encourage them. We would just meet with people who are motivated by themselves.
Oh, I might have missed it, but I wonder the language background of the parents' generation. See, I remember that you mentioned that the parents are potential speakers, but I was just wondering if they have ever lived outside of the island.
Yeah. I think everyone. They only have high schools, so most people leave after high school, and then spend some time, like years, in like big cities, and come back. So at least like 4 years for the university, or yeah. Or should I take the question?
Before you music and dance.
Yeah, sure. I forgot about that.
First about MOU. So I'm wondering if it's a common practice to have a MOU with your target community, and if it's so, and also was it difficult for you to have a MOU with the two towns?
Okay.
And also I'm interested in the content of the MOU, if you could share.
Okay, so is it common? I'm not sure, but our institution forces us to make MOUs with many places as possible, because that counts as a good thing. So probably it is common try to get MOU. And was it hard? Yeah, it was hard in the sense that we have to do those internal process towns that's so mysterious to us. So we have to have the stuff in the local governments figure out how they proceed, both in officially and non-officially, like lobbying stuff. So it took about a year for this case, but that was new. The first one that I made the signs, but with other communities like Miyako Islands, it was very quick, like 3 months. But we just brought the copy of the MOU here, and then this is the stuff that you just need to sign. So that was, yeah. But yeah, of course, the Takubo sensei and other people have lobbied before them. And the content of the MOU, it's nothing. It's just like the university agreement. Yeah, we will collaborate in something, and we're gonna decide in specific cases as it comes. So it's just like blank documents, right? Yeah.
So maybe I just missed that. So is this project like mainly focused on the fluency, or does it involve the literacy as well? Because I think you mentioned the textbooks that you get the kids can ask the parents to read it. Does that mean it requires the parents' literacy of language? Or like do you put any focus on training the literacy, both the parents and the children?
Both, but mostly for speaking ability, because writing system is new to them. So we want them to practice it or get used to it. But we used an extended Japanese kana. So it's based on Japanese kana with two diacritics to it, but it's not necessary. It's not a fixed orthography. It's not official orthography either.
Oh,
Right. Thank you. Chan.
Yeah, also about the three generation project. You mentioned that you're not like the motivating them, but because they are internally motivated. Then how did you reach out to them? Like what do you talk to? How do you talk to people?
Right. So the first one, Shimohiraka preschool. That's the first school that the school in the village that I work for, the descriptive works, the grammar works. So I kind of go to the schools very frequently for no reasons. So to just get them recognized. And then eventually they will ask me, yeah, we're gonna have the PTA, whole PTA meetings in July. Do you want to give a talk? Oh yeah, finally. And then I took advantage of that occasion. And yeah, we're gonna do this three generation projects. Do you want to join? And the late Kunigami is the village that she worked on. So the situation is the same. Okay.
First of all, it's what you've been doing is amazing. It's fantastic result. One of the reasons is that you guys are young, field workers. When Yuki Takubo and I go to Miyako Island, we only meet older people. And it's very difficult to engage, actually, it's difficult to meet young people. And that's our, one of the obstacles that we had. So, maybe we need to have, many more younger people working on endangered language like you guys. But my question is that, I think that you were successful, but what is the overall general community impact? Of course, you start with a fewer families, but are you seeing any impact beyond those people who come to your meeting?
Yeah, that's something that we have to do seriously, do the surveys, but impressionistically. So this island, or the other Ryukyuan islands in general, they have many chances for the stage performance at different occasions. They have like very many small festivals. They do the stage performance like this. And before this project, I also go to those small festivals. I didn't really see, for example, kids introducing themselves in their local language. But after they get popular, I think that's kind of like new trend for like the whole island, I think. Another thing that each town had the community paper, monthly community paper. And they had So after these things, especially after the MOU, they started to like have a featured column of the language once in a while. And the editors there said that that's a new thing, that they didn't really have the language column or language articles on or about the language before. But yeah, those small importance. Oh yeah, sorry, there was serious things. So after the MOU, I think after this, the Wadamari town collaborations, they formed a committee of the language that consists of the heads of different parties, like the circle of elderlies, the Rojinkai, circle of the parents and kids associations, and schools associations. So each party's head join the language committee and decide many things and send message to each party. So that's one of the things. Shimamuni Salon is also another one. We started the Shimamuni the community course in 2019, probably because we have these things. But of course, there is no evidence for the correlation or causation correlation. Thank you. And William.
This is really wonderful. And precisely because it's successful, I want to know how it works inside, right?
Inside.
Yeah. So right now, I mean, the human mind is a black box, really hard to figure out exactly what's going on in there with respect to acquisition. It's also difficult to know what's going on inside someone's home.
Mm-hmm.
But what would be really wonderful, I suggest, is if you could even record them at mealtime, right? For the half hour, 1 hour a day, when they're all sitting around a table. And we could find out exactly what types of things they're saying, what type of vocabulary they're using, what type of syntactic and morphological patterns are in play. And that would be useful from a variety perspective. And also a wonderful model for moving to other families and trying similar things there and even recruiting other families to do the same thing.
I see. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, that's really the stuff that we need to do. So we're gonna do the master apprentice program, and that should come with some portion of the recording.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You and I were talking about that part last night.
Right.
I'm thinking of family situation like that.
Thank you very much.
I think we have another question and it hasn't been asked before.
Okay.
So when you ask indigenous people to document their natural language usage, were there any privacy concerns? How was the IRB process looking like for your project? And IRB refers to Institutional
Right.
Review Board.
Right.
In the context.
So I passed the IRB stuff at Ninja, but the document doesn't really say the privacy things. Oh, the privacy meaning the privacy information of each participant. Yeah, that's strictly controlled, of course. And the naturalistic data part, we haven't actually worked on anything other than the dictionary materials and some these things. But with other communities, we have the transcriptions and put them in the repository stuff. Natural discourse transcriptions with sounds. So there we have the product works and mark the privacy information that appears in the natural discourse, and we do the beep sounds or erasing any information that can identify some individuals. Yeah, I think that before we make it open.
I think, yeah. Thank you so much.